Thailand is forging towards a bi-circular green economic model for inclusive and sustainable growth. The model conforms with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, which aims to accelerate global efforts to reduce waste and conserve resources. Today we'll be joined by INSEE Ecocycle, the first waste management company in Thailand that has been certified for Green Industry Level 5 from the Ministry of Industry. Suchintana Viraratt, Chief Executive Officer of INSEE Ecocycle, shares her perspectives with us. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะคุณฮันนี่
Khun Suchintana, thank you very much for joining us. Waste to energy plays a significant part to drive a BCG-based economy. INSEE Ecocycle is one of the leading companies in industrial waste management. Before we find out more in Thailand's development in this particular area, can you give us a brief outlook about your company and what has been done in helping improve the environmental footprint?
Yes, thank you Khun Hani for having me here. INSEE Ecocycle is a wholly owned subsidiary of Siam City Cement Group, or SCCC, or we also call INSEE. We provide a sustainable waste management and industrial services solution to various sectors. Currently, we have operations in Thailand, in Vietnam, in Sri Lanka, and in Cambodia.
All over the region.
Yes, in many countries in Southeast Asia and South Asia. In terms of the BCG concept, which is bio, circular, and green, Thailand have drive very hard to promote a BCG economy. So I would like just to touch on the C, which is on the circular. On the circular, Thailand is moving from the linear economic model where you have the material as a resource and you produce your finished products, and then at the end of the life you discard that products. The circular economy will change the concept from that linear economic model into a circular economic model. First, you reduce the material. How do you convert the waste from your process or from the end product and converted that into a material that replaces a virgin material? So you reduce the natural resources that you have to use. INSEE Ecocycle, on our waste management side, we do this by taking the waste and recover the energy from the waste, or use the waste as a replacement of the virgin material for our cement production through the process of co-processing. And because the process is use a very high temperature in the cement kiln and very long residence time, this do not leave any residue. So this fulfilled the zero waste to landfill policy.
I see. Now you mentioned co-processing, which sees waste used as fuel instead of fossil energy. Is this the most feasible recycling technology available today?
Yeah, the waste to energy or co-processing is one of the enabler to close the loop in the recycling or the circular economy model. Actually, the circular economy model, it promotes on the waste management hierarchy, the waste reduction, the reuse of the material. But once the material have been utilized over and over and maximize its value and it can no longer be recycled, then co-processing is the second best method to close that loop. And again, because the process do not leave any residual material that will end up in the landfill. So it fulfilled this zero landfill concept in the circular economy.
So can it be used to manage both hazardous and non-hazardous industrial waste?
Yes, that's correct. So besides the hazardous and non-hazardous industrial waste, actually municipal solid waste, we can also take the benefit we call RDF, or refuse derived fuel, by mining the municipal landfill site and dump site to extract the material that can be recovered of its energy to use in the cement co-processing.
I see. So with safe destruction solutions that you provide, recently you joined hands with the Ministry of Commerce, the Department of Intellectual Property, to dispose of counterfeit products. As they say, some of the fake items cannot be simply put in the landfill. So share with us the destruction process, please.
Yes, INSEE Ecocycle have been selected to participate in the intellectual property rights infringing goods destruction ceremony 2 years in a row. Last year in 2020 and this year in 2021. And we do this in a environmentally friendly manner. So we take the waste and destruct in the process called co-processing. And co-processing use the energy from the waste to replace traditional fossil fuel. And this do not leave any residue that will end up in the landfill, which meets the concept of the circular economy. Besides the destruction process itself, it's accompanied by the end-to-end security system. So when we collect the materials at the source, we have the GPS tracking in all our vehicles, and there's also a security lock system to ensure that the waste are secured from the source directly to our destruction site. And once it's arrived our destruction site in Saraburi, it's also monitored 24/7 by CCTV and the security system that we have,
to make sure that there will be no negative impacts towards the environment. Now, while Thailand is on its path to sustainable growth, driving the BCG model, particularly circular model as you mentioned, where do you see Thailand at the moment in this regard?
I feel that the government have fully support multiple stakeholders to achieve this BCG economic model. And I feel that especially on the industrial sector, they're really embracing the BCG model, and they're looking for ways to improve their technology, how to reduce the waste, how to bring back the waste material and recover its property, so there's a reduction in the virgin raw material that they have to use in the process. So many private sector is really embracing the BCG economic model. And we feel that there's also a lot of opportunities, again, for co-processing to close the loop in that circular economy model, because there will be certain types of waste that can no longer be recycled, and we can provide that solution to close the loop through our co-processing method and do not leave any residue that will end up in the landfill and achieve the zero landfill policy of our customer.
While companies are trying to go clean, go green, what do you see as challenges in fulfilling the commitment in pushing for zero waste organization?
Yes, so being in industry for so many years, when we talk about 10 years ago, people are looking for method on zero landfill to meet their zero landfill policy. This next 10 years, many of those companies that already achieved the zero landfill policy are looking to move up the waste management hierarchy. And how do they do that? They have to think about new innovation, new technology on how to convert those waste and bring back those waste into their manufacturing process to replace the virgin raw material. INSEE Ecocycle wants to continue to be part of our customers' BCG journey to ensure that we are providing the proper support for our customer to achieve that BCG target.
And that's also in line with the United Nations SDG goals to help create a sustainable network. Khun Suchintana, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Khun Hani, for having me here today. ขอบคุณค่ะ